Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for our presentation of the Cash Edge Cash Guarantee Program. Before we get started, I wanted to ask if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to enter those questions into the chat to Nick, and he'll be happy to pass them along so we can address them at the end. We're trying to be as efficient as possible with the use of your time. My name is David Ratti. I'm here with Nick.
Hi, everybody.
Nick Taylor, we're part of the Ratti Lending team. We have over 30 years of mortgage lending experience. We're licensed in 7 states: Florida, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. And believe it or not, we work evenings and weekends too, because we do understand that most people that buy homes have jobs, and those jobs typically are 9 to 5. So they're buying homes after work and on the weekends. We get it. All right, let's move forward. What we're going to go over and cover today is a complete and total disruptor to the real estate industry, and it's extremely unique. So we're really excited about sharing this. It enables our agent partners to make cash guaranteed offers. This program was developed through focus groups around the nation with top real estate groups and teams. So it really is addressing a challenge that our agent partners are facing across the country. It is a guaranteed closing, and it has advantages for both buyers and sellers. Nick, why don't you take it over from here?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of jumping into the advantages for buyers, we say it's better than cash. When we say that, we mean, there's still financing contingencies for a cash offer. There are things that can come up that can, delay the deal or end the deal. But when we go under contract with the Cash Edge product, it is a guaranteed close. Prior to the offer, we're going to do an automated valuation, AVM, on the property. And we're going to kind of say, here's what we're comfortable offering on that property. We'll guarantee up to X amount. Similar to any other situation where an appraisal would come in low, the buyer can always come up with the cash difference if they, wish to, but we'll guarantee up to a certain amount. Different from a normal offer, a normal kind of loan process. Rather than underwrite after we have the contract, we go ahead and do the underwriting beforehand. So that's why we can kind of waive that financing contingency. As far as how it helps buyers agents, again, you're going to have an offer that is basically as good, if not better than cash, because there's a guarantee on it. The seller doesn't have to worry about whether or not the financing is going to fall through, whether or not, certain things are going to come up, if the contract's going to get delayed, et cetera. This offer is guaranteed to close and close at the price listed. The only difference between this and a typical conventional loan is that there's a 5% earnest money deposit, or EMD, as it says on the slide. The only reason for this is we want the buyer to have the same level of commitment we do to purchasing the home. So since we're going to guarantee the purchase, the EMD, rather than be $2,000, is going to be essentially equal to the down payment for a conventional loan, 5%. So that goes up front. Again, it's not like it's doubling down. You don't owe 10% down at closing. It's just 5%, but it's due before closing as opposed to at closing. Maximum sales price $1 million. The rates are going to be identical to conventional rates. Other than that, everything is about the same as it would be for a conventional loan.
Terrific. So great benefits for the buyers. The offer goes in with a guarantee on our part that if for some reason the loan isn't ready by the closing date, we buy the house on behalf of the buyer as a guarantee. That's extremely unique. But it also has benefits for the sellers and the sellers' agents. First of all, in this market with the limited inventory, it almost seems like there's as many licensed realtors as there is homes available for sale. So it makes it really competitive to win a listing. This unique program will help you win the listing because it offers you to stand out from your competition. And again, it's a guaranteed closing for the seller, which makes it even better than a cash deal. If you think about it, if you get a cash offer, hopefully you have identified or verified that they actually do have the funds. But even if they do, they still have to write that check, 3-4 weeks later when the closing happens. With the Cash Edge, we guarantee it as a company. So if a cash buyer gets cold feet, That's a risk for the seller. In the Cash Edge program, that risk doesn't exist. Some of the questions that we get, and by the way, for the people that joined us late, if you have any questions about the program, please feel free to jump in the chat and enter them in the chat, and we'll address them as we receive them. Several of the questions we do receive on this Cash Edge program is, what about the interest rates? Is this like a private equity, hard money type of loan? It's not. It's the same exact rate you get with any other conventional loan. Questions we get about the approval itself is typically when somebody calls or inquires, or we call them and they get pre-approved, what we'll do, let's say it's a Wednesday evening, we'll have them upload their financial docs, and then we'll submit it to underwriting. And underwriting turn time typically is about 48 hours. Once we have the loan approval, we submit that for the Cash Edge program approval, which takes about a minute, minute and a half. And they get a welcome email, as well as our agent partner gets a welcome email. Pretty cool. The guarantee is the buyer is getting a mortgage, but we've already approved them. So what we're doing is putting our money where our mouth is and saying, if for some reason that loan isn't ready to close on the close date, we will purchase the home on behalf of our buyer and transfer title to them later. So unique. So Nick, how do I write the offer?
Yeah, so it's going to be submitted like a conventional loan would be, as it is a conventional loan. However, there is a Cash Edge addendum, and this is what is submitted, obviously, with the offer, added to the end of the contract. And essentially, it breaks down how the Cash Edge program works and the guarantee, so that, you know, the listing agent, the seller, they understand that this offer they're receiving is guaranteed. If they accept it, it will close, and it's, you know, pretty much ironclad. As far as marketing goes, we have, you know, an absolute plethora of marketing materials available to our partners that we share out. We, you know, do a great job of meeting with not only the listing agent, but also the seller, if they, you know, if the listing agent wants us to kind of explain to them how it'll work and how it kind of brings an advantage to them. I do see in the chat, like David had mentioned, time to underwrite. So once we receive kind of, you know, the documents, like a typical approval process, about 48 hours once we kind of receive all the documents to get them fully underwritten and ready to put a contract in. As far as how quick can we close, 21 days is the minimum close time. Like we said, it's guaranteed. So 21 days and you will close. Typical closing 30 days. That's for, you know, normal contracts, but we can get it done as little as 21.
Terrific. Terrific. Now, for workshops, we do have workshops available for our agent partner teams. How do I get registered as a certified Cash Edge partner? We have a 5-minute tutorial that gets into the details of the program, so we can properly train you and you can communicate the specifics of the program to your clients. If you are interested in becoming a certified Cash Edge partner, it's really easy. You can just email Nick or email me your information. You'd like more information about Cash Edge. Again, our contact information is up on the screen. We are available. You hate to say 24/7, but since we are a team, we have overlapping coverage, and you have to respond immediately. So we're 100% sensitive to that and happy to help.
I do see one more question here, Dave.
Yep.
I want us to talk a little bit more about how we help market the property listing. So, and we do this on all of, you know, our listing agents' listings. It's not just Cash Edge, but we have, like we had mentioned, kind of co-branded marketing materials. So we take the MLS number, we put it into our system, it generates a listing for the property in a web page, and we push that out to all of our social media groups. We have a lot of Facebook groups for buyers that are, you know, always looking for homes, and our, you know, listing agent and buyers partners. And we'll push that out to the groups and make sure that everyone's aware of that listing going up and the ways that we can help you guys get it to closing.
All right. Is there any other questions, Nick, or can we wrap it up for everybody?
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do loans in other states?
Good question.
So we are licensed in Florida, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. So we can do loans in any of those states. We have partners in other states. If, we have somebody moving across the country, we are able to help out and connect them with another partner, that's part of Envoy Mortgage.
One last question, and I got in on this a little late on your Zoom. Is there an appraisal? What in the event the appraisal does not come in at the value of what you guaranteed, what would happen then?
Great question. So an appraisal is done during this process. So we do an AVM before the offer comes in. If during the loan process, the appraisal comes in low, we guarantee that closing. We've already made that guarantee based off of our AVM. So if the appraisal, let's say, comes in $1,000 low, we guarantee to close it.
And if, the AVM comes in, right at list price and the buyer wants to go, 5 or 10,000 above list, they always have the ability to come up with that cash, just like any other loan. But as soon as we issue that guarantee for the AVM amount, we are guaranteeing that. So it will absolutely go to closing.
Yeah, and let me give you an example of one we had last week. They were actually putting 10% down. So they were putting an offer in above list, which, as we know, is not uncommon.
Right.
Since they were putting an offer in above list and the AVM didn't cover the offer that they were putting in, instead of putting 10% down, we just reworked it at 7% down.
And then they pay.
Yeah. And so they just put a little less down because they weren't putting the minimum down to begin with. So that worked out for them well. So it's only for the people that are putting the minimum down, that we may have some challenges if the AVM comes in below their offer that's 50 grand over the list price.
And the minimum's 5%?
Correct.
5%.
Minimum 5% down.
You need a certain credit score?
It's the same as any other conventional loan. Fannie Freddie has a 620 minimum credit score.
Okay. All right.
And then I do see one more question here, Dave. How does this work for auctions, or does it work for auctions?
It depends on the auction. It may not be a great match for an auction, simply because some of these auctions require very fast settlements. But it would depend on the auction itself. But we do have to have a 21-day contract to close.
For the buyers that qualify, it is kind of a game-changing product, as well as, it's one of the only products that also helps listing agents. So we like to promote that part as well.
We got another question before we close this out. How do I get my team on board? We can do a one-on-one with your team and cover this. This is an introduction presentation. We actually have an agent partner presentation that takes 5 minutes, but it goes through the specific details, some of which were brought up today. But it arms you with the information you need so you can answer the questions of your clients. And again, the marketing material we have, co-branded marketing material, is perfect to either utilize on social media, or if you have a listing presentation packet, there's a piece that can go in with the listing presentation packet that will definitely set you apart from your competition.
If nobody else has any questions, I appreciate everybody joining us today. I'll make sure to go in the chat and follow up with everybody. And we appreciate you joining and taking some time, and we look forward to helping you.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.